hot for Aaron Rodgers. I laughed at that. Raiders fans are murdering me online. They are angry. However, Diana Rossini says the Raiders are not interested in Aaron Rodgers. And the Raiders are looking at Russell Wilson and Sam Darnold. Now, Diana, I think, is coming on the show later. I don't know if I buy Russell Wilson reuniting with Pete Carroll.
I don't either. I think teams like Darnold, but they'd love 2 to 3 years, and Sam's agent probably wants 4.
Yeah, and Sam
I think Sam would take 2 years with the Vikings.
Yeah, with the Vikings.
But I don't think Sam's going to leave the Vikings if you're only going to give him 2 to 3. Yeah. So I think the Vikings could get a team-friendly deal because he loves the coach, he loves Justin Jefferson, he likes the city. Sam's not a flashy guy. Minneapolis is great for Sam. He loves everybody. Okay, I'll sign for 2. Team-friendly deal in Minnesota to stay. I don't have to learn a new system.
Or pay me big time, Raiders.
If you want me in Vegas, if you want me in some other area, I want 4.
Yeah.
I'll give you decent numbers, but I want 4. And that's what I would do if I was Sam. I'll take 2 in Minnesota. Well-run, great coach, great weapons, nice ownership, a division he's familiar with. But I would leave. But if I'm going to go to a Raiders, you got to give me 4.
Doesn't it feel like the Raiders are possibly SOL here? Just they're going to get stuck with maybe Kirk Cousins, the corpse of Kirk Cousins. Hey, come on down, Kirk. We got nothing else.
Well,
Justin Fields sounds like he's staying in Pittsburgh. We'll get to that later. I don't think anybody's very excited for Rodgers or Cousins.
I'm surprised more people aren't excited for Darnold. I really am. I mean, Steve Kine was on yesterday.
I mean, he's been in the league for what, like 6-7 years, and he had one really, really outlier of a year?
No question. I'm not saying, again, I've said he deserves a Baker contract. I don't even think you could argue he didn't even deserve a Daniel Jones deal at 40-42.
Well, that was...
But I mean, again, I'm a Sam Darnold advocate. I've always thought he's a great athlete with a big arm, mobile. He checks a lot of boxes. But Geno Smith also checks a lot of boxes, too. He's big, he moves, he's got a nice arm. So there are guys like a Geno or a Darnold that check a lot of traits, but they throw too many picks, and I don't love them. I situationally like them. All right, J-Mac with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
You're hearing a lot about trades. And there's a lot of people working trades. Some of that is because it's not a good free agent class. More criticism of Shedeur Sanders. You know, I saw something yesterday that happened. It was like a blizzard. It happened boom, 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 boom with 3 high-end star players in the NFL. Not superstars, but star players. And it speaks to why we love the NFL and why baseball, but more significantly the NBA, can sometimes be a hard follow. Talk about that next. If you feel like owning a home is out of reach, Rocket is here to give you the keys back to that dream. They think everybody deserves a shot at the American dream, owning the dream, owning a house. Go to rocket.com or call.
Week, Stephen Jones said the Cowboys will be selectively aggressive in trying to add free agents. Yesterday, Jerry Jones had a different description of their offseason plans.
I don't think aggressive is the right word. I wouldn't call us really void in any area, void if you include what we're going to do in the draft. I wouldn't see that. So as your question is addressing free agency, I'm not looking at free agency as a place to fill voids.
Well, I do think they're bad. Offensive line and run game. I do not think they're very good. But so that point I don't agree with. But I do think there's areas. I think the defensive line, they've got an interior guy they like in Micah Parsons. I think their secondary's got talent. But I mean, at wide receiver, they're a one-trick pony, and at running back, they're dreadful. So I'm not saying free agency is the answer. And they reworked Dak's contract yesterday, so now they have some cap space.
And Lamb, yeah, they got $56.6 million in cap space.
I would look at a Chris Godwin if the number was right. A number 2.
It's not good.
Well, I'm just throwing it out there. I think you could look at a number 2. It's not a very good wide receiver class, and they have other needs before that.
Yeah, they got a lot. Cowboys have a lot of questions. I like how they phrase this here in the note. Is it clear that the Cowboys have become an unserious franchise? This staff loves needling the Cowboys. All right, let's go to the next story. Another crappy team in the NFC East, the New York Giants. Joe Shane and the Giants have promised to look under every rock to find a quarterback. They tried hard with Matt Stafford, came up empty. And now there are reports that the Giants are the front runner to trade up for the number 1 pick. All eyes on Cam Ward, according to multiple NFL executives. They want to steal Cam Ward from Tennessee.
Okay, so it's interesting. So the Giants are at 3, Tennessee's at 1. In a bad draft, how much do you give up to go from 3 to 1? Is it clear if this story's out there, somebody's leaking it?
1 and a 2? Maybe more. I don't know. The problem is...
So you give up next year 1 and this year 2. Probably, I think it's more than that. What they're telling you is they think there's a gap between Cam Ward and Shedeur, which most people do.
Yeah, well, and that's the game. That's the game we play, right? Hey, man, Shedeur, nobody wants him. He's dropping a 29. 20.
Yeah, but Cam is a better athlete with a bigger arm. That's indisputable. Cam has got better traits. That's not even arguable. Doesn't mean he'll be a better NFL quarterback. Where do they land? But I'm asking, if you're the Giants, if I run the Giants right now and I look at it and I think, listen, Cam, we think Cam is an A prospect and Shedeur's B to B minus, which a lot of people do. I would say Cam's a lower A if he's an A. I see him more as a B-plus guy, and Shedeur's a B guy.
I think he'll be better than Bo Nix. I think he'll be better than J.J. McCarthy.
Maybe. I don't know. You could be right.
McCarthy has Kevin O'Connell.
So if you're the Giants and you get Cam Ward, and my takeaway is you're only going from 3 to 1, you obviously have to give up next year's number 1 pick. The question is, do I go, okay, I'll give Tennessee, I'll give you Kayvon Thibodeau, and this year's 2.
So, Colin, I'll just point to the Bryce Young trade as be careful trading up. Okay, Carolina didn't have a great roster to begin with, gave up DJ Moore. They had nothing. They've been total garbage since then. The Giants don't have a good roster, do they? They got a couple good defenders. Offensively, they're challenged on the lines.
No, the Jets.
They got Malik Neighbors and nobody.
The Jets are a bad team with a good roster. The Giants are a bad team with a bad roster.
The Jets could trade up, right?
Yeah.
And still have some good players. I don't think the Giants have enough good players to trade up. They would be then in a Carolina spot. No?
Yeah. I think you make a good argument. I do.
So do you get Aaron Rodgers instead? Like, what are your choices? Trade up for
that's why they went. They went after Stafford. It's funny. I don't think Vegas is going to be very good, but I think they've got things I really like going forward. I don't know what the Giants do. I don't trust the GM. They don't have a quarterback.
Russell Wilson, does that do anything for you?
Come on.
Is he the 4th best quarterback in that division then?
Yeah.
Jaden, Hurts, Dak.
Yeah, probably.
Not great.
Yeah.
At all. Speaking of quarterbacks, let's go to round it out here, Colin. The Raiders are in the hunt, and we said yesterday, Max Crosby was